Hey everybody, and welcome back to a special episode of Shmindle Shmumlimited, the podcast where for your reviews, rants, and ramblings with books about your favorite way to get books. I'm your host, Amity, and before we get into the rest of this episode, the reason I said it's special is because this is a bonus episode of our Onyx Storm reactions. And we're featuring a guest in this episode, so please welcome Kelda to the podcast. She's another big Fourth Wing series, Empyrean Series super fan, and so we're glad to have her joining us tonight. So with that being said, let's get into our conversation with our Onyx Storm reactions featuring Kelda.
Did you see that these are like the best-selling books since Harry Potter?
Yes.
It's everybody who read Harry Potter is a grown-up now, and they're like, thank you so much.
I know. Like we're back.
100%.
That made me so happy because it's all of the Harry Potter girlies are now reading The Dragons.
I wonder if it felt like it was shorter because I was in elementary school where
Probably.
I felt like
where you don't have any concept of time whatsoever.
where like first grade and third grade seemed like the same year.
Absolutely.
When I feel like they started making the movies too. So it was like one year you'd get a movie and then the next year you'd get a book. And so it was so staggered and all over the place.
No, that reminds me of The Devil Wears Prada when she's like, we need the unpublished manuscript.
Oh, yes.
Get it or you're fired. Like, how do I get that from Rebecca?
I just want to see her storyboard.
I know. I would pay good money.
I'd still read it. Like, you wouldn't lose this skill.
Do you want a kidney? I'll give it to you.
So I was watching an interview with her and she states that she starts with she always knows how each book's going to end.
Yeah. She knew how book 3, like she had that ending in her
mind. Yes.
While writing the first book.
Yes.
I hope she has the ending to everything in mind while writing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she had to like storyboard plan out this because of the TV show. I think she had to like have all the plot done in advance.
From my understanding, they've started they have a maybe cast.
Okay, I'm seeing all of this stuff on the Instagrams, and these guys are like adding dragons to their profiles, and the book talk girlies are out here finding it.
Yes. I saw the girl that plays
Renesmee
in Twilight
is possibly Violet. I could get on board with that.
Oh wow. I haven't seen or read Twilight.
I mean, the books aren't, or the movies aren't
missing anything.
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard, which is why I've not like added it in.
Yeah, you don't.
The first one, you have to realize they had like zero money to make it, so it's literally like the worst movie. Like the
special effects.
Special effects, like they're playing baseball one day, and it looks like they are literally like on an escalator. You know, like the walking things from the airplane.
They just set it up.
That's what they look like.
No,
you're like, what?
You need, because you're about to have teenagers, is you just have to have an answer to the question: are you Team Jacob or Team Edward? And then
that's all you need to know.
I was actually asked that by a teenager this morning.
Wait, so the kids these days are still like reading and watching? Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
Are they Harry Potter kids too?
Not as much. Those are few and further between, but I think because they really love all the love triangles.
Yes, yeah.
Well, no, they didn't have to wait. Like, you get into Harry Potter at 11.
Yeah.
The books are all already out. So I got into it at least like at 11. Like Harry and I were like 11 at the same time. Like the books came out as I was those ages. Then I out-aged Harry because he only aged 7 years and I aged like 14 or something. And like I had to wait for it. So I was much older still in my Harry Potter fandom. And I wonder if I got to read them back to back to back to back. If like, wow, remember 6th grade when I was really into Harry Potter, but like,
into
something else the next year without having to wait.
Yeah, and I think some of them see the movies before that age too.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of, at least like our niece that's into it, she's seen all of the movies and she's been reading her way through and she's really into it. So she still likes all of those elements, but she's turning like 12 this year.
Yeah.
Like she's already done all of that and knows the end. It's just a different experience.
Sounds like she's getting raised right.
All right, so we all read Onyx Storm. We all finished pretty close together. I was the straggler. And then I finished on an airplane, and that was my biggest mistake because I was like, I need to write all these thoughts down and send them, and I need to discuss, and I am in the air with no internet. So
I can't talk to anyone about this.
Sobbing next to people on an airplane.
I did not sob. I also like the fact that my flight was delayed, but like delayed on the tarmac. Like I don't know why we were late, but we were late. With the exception of that, I didn't sit next to anybody on any of my, like I took 4 flights last week, like 2 on the way there and 2 on the way home. I didn't have to sit next to anybody. It was fabulous. So I had a little bit of personal space to
I may have FaceTimed Kelda post and Darna leaving. And
oh my God.
Let's tell it how it happened. I text her, I'm sobbing, and she FaceTimes me. Like, I was like, I gotta see this.
As Mike is sitting next to her, like, I don't know what to do with it.
He's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Oh my gosh. I think I said this to Amity. It was like a TikTok of like guys, like their text message when their significant others dating fourth wing. And it's like mine is in the room reading. It's like, where's yours? And it's like, have you read the description on these guys?
Okay,
So Brian's listening to it, you guys. He downloaded the audiobook.
Oh, did you do the graphic audio
it
or the regular?
What?
Is he doing Onyx Storm audiobook?
Yes.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, well, he already read the first 2.
True. I think he finished them before I did.
And then he was trying to read the third one, like he started when I started, but because like we share the Kindle account, his kept going.
Yeah.
And so he's like, let me give her 2 days and then she'll be done and then it will stop jumping.
Aww.
But then he downloaded the audio because that's how he likes to consume books. So
did I ever tell you what happened when we went on a cruise last year and I'm in the room reading a book and it's bed. And Dan's like, I gotta go see people. So he's at the bar and these 2 other guys show up and they're like, oh, what are you doing here? All 3 of their wives were in bed reading.
that's fabulous.
I love it. That's what I want for us next book.
All right. So shall we go through our predictions and how terribly we did?
I think our number 1 though is pretty accurate,
well,
but
so
it wasn't like solved.
There are still some predictions that have not been answered. So for example, Brennan, good versus bad. You know, is there a Naolan, Venin link? What are the runes on his hand? We don't know yet.
Also, the ruins left.
On his hands?
I thought, no, whose ruins left? Somebody's ruins on their body left at the end of the book.
What?
I didn't think it left. I thought it was at the end when Sloane does the siphon.
Yes. And there was no handprint.
Yes, that's what it was.
I read some theory that like she's all like maybe her second signet is she's a healer, so she can get rid of that handprint.
Yeah.
Don't know. Multiple questions, so many questions. The next prediction was who's going to get killed off. We voted for either Rhiannon or Mira. We were close. I want
to clarify, we did not vote for them.
Well, we made a prediction. I don't want anyone to die, although it's happening next book.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think still a little light on the death, thankfully.
I know.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly light on the death.
I think she was trying to like.
But if you think of like series like that, like this, it's usually the book before the last one where like the majority of people,
and
it ends and it's
battle.
Yeah, it like ends with everybody dead and like the main character not knowing what to do is like kind of like a waking up from ruins.
I mean, second to last Harry Potter, we get good old what's his name dying? Kelda, help me out here. Dumbledore. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Dumbledore dies. So it's gonna be a 4th book.
Yeah.
Big death.
Our next prediction was Jasenia is telling the story and everyone's dead. I think that's a prediction we may not find out till the very end.
I don't
5.
But I don't think she's gonna kill everybody off.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I think we're not making it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I could see it being like there's a sacrifice at the end kind of.
So I could see that some sort of mutual Romeo and Juliet style sacrifice thing, but like the world makes it out. Like the Venom aren't winning.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to end like, I think it's going to be a happy ending, just not in the everyone's fine because it's war. And I think she draws so much from like her military life experience.
So she draws from her military life experience, but like,
which I could see being very realistic. Like if you were in a true all out war in this sense, like there can be a happy ending where we have resolution to the war and where you lose people you're really attached to.
how unfulfilling.
Yeah. But I don't feel like she'll kill off the
I'm
two
just
main
trying to be
characters.
realistic and guard my heart in that way.
She did say in previous
Interviews,
like, I am a romance author.
Yes,
I do happy endings.
Each book is based off a Taylor Swift album. I feel like.
But wait, so remember she wrote that book that we read for our second episode, right?
The things we leave
the things we lived unfinished.
And the main characters were dead.
I was like, wait a minute, the two main characters were like did die. Like that was so twisty. Like that is very. And this is Jasenia's life story about the war that happiness won. Like, oh man, why? I was really all optimistic, and then now I'm
No, I don't think so.
Because she's done it before.
I mean, another book of hers, The Last Letter, like the only book I've ever sobbed to. So I mean, happy ending, but key characters die.
But I think this is also very different from her other books in the fact that like she writes what does she say? She calls them contemporary books in between each one of these. So I think the writing is very different. And I think Violet and Xaden.
They don't. I'm gonna get a pitchfork and fire, and we are rioting.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm impressed she can step away, like from all of the. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I very much enjoyed this book, and also, you ever read like the first couple chapters reminded me of being in some sort of PD or reading a restaurant menu that's from a language I don't speak, but like sometimes ingredients you can figure out what they are. Like, I don't know what this menu item is, but like, oh, it says pasta and sun-dried tomatoes. That sounds good. Like underneath it, like I can sort of figure it out. I felt that way through I don't know, the first 8 or 9 chapters.
It wasn't until they were like going into the aisles where I was like, oh, I'm back to it.
In the book club chat that I have going, and we're doing Onyx Storm for the next book club, and they're like, wait, who are all of these characters?
Because she switches the way
how I felt. Even I remember going back at the very beginning. Now, I did not do a reread at all.
Yeah, I know.
Who's Rhydock? And then I was like, is it Xaden Rhydock? And I was like, no. And I was like, okay, you got to do something. Like you cannot jump in full, remember when you read the other book? Like I needed to do a refresher. So I watched a couple of TikTok refreshers. But...
Well, she started referring to like Sawyer and Riddick by their last name.
Yeah, so she switches.
She switches around a lot, and it depends like who's addressing them. So if a different character, Violet's really the only one that first names people very much.
Yeah.
Except for like the handful of people in the Iron Squad that will first name each other, but everybody else goes last name. So when they switch, it's really disconcerting.
Yeah, I was like, wait, that didn't happen in the last 2 books.
Especially the one that would always throw me off the most was Garrick.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, who?
Yes.
Is this another new one? Is this a flyer?
You don't even go here.
But I plowed through it, and then it
It started clicking.
yes, enough made sense.
Yeah, I feel like this is how I'm gonna feel when I watch Stranger Things for the last season this summer, when it like all the episodes that I haven't seen in any of the seasons in years.
Yeah.
And
You're
like,
wait, I'm
well,
so confused.
and that's why I do think like if she does wait until 2027, I'm gonna have to reread the first three.
I'm doing a reread anyway. It's fine.
I feel like I remember the first one more than I remember the second one.
I felt the same way.
So much happens in the second one. I'm still in the middle of my reread of Iron Flame that I intended to finish before this came out. And so I've like just been lazily going back and doing a chapter here and there. And there are so many details because there's so much crammed into that book that you kind of forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my first read was what, November? Like it's not been that long.
Well, that's why I'm so impressed that she is able to step away and still cognitively come back to all of the little
Details.
things that, oh, I was alluding to this with this, and like all of those components. Like I can hardly walk away from the stove, come back and be like, all right, I was cutting these things. Good. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Never mind walking away from a whole world. Like it's a very interesting.
You know what this reminds me of? Okay, so Kelda will appreciate this. You know how Taylor Swift will like announce an album like a year in advance, but like leave little like clues about her album and nobody will know. This is how I feel like, and Rebecca is like, I feel like she's leaving little clues, but like you have to deep dive into the
She
book.
doesn't do anything without intention.
Yes, exactly.
Like everything is there for a reason. Like, for example, if you go back to the first book and Liam having that second like ice wielding, everyone thought it was a mistake. It was not. Like that was in there that whole
everything
time.
is like for a purpose.
That's what I love on a reread, just going back to the epigraphs.
Mhm.
So much there that you just can't, like, especially in the early chapters of Fourth Wing, you're like, okay, I'll read this because it's here and it's obviously serving a purpose. But you go back, oh my God, everything was right there.
I know. I need to go back into Fourth Wing and Iron Flame to see how many of those were written by her dad.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them, yeah. But this is why I'm mad that she's gonna make us wait so long.
I know.
Like, you've obviously got some stuff figured out. What are you doing?
Yeah. I think she knows how the series is going to end.
She does.
Yeah.
She had to for the series.
I think I could be incorrect, but I think she said that Tortured Poets Department is the next book. Like that's the album that represents the next book. So just be ready.
Is she running out of like? Is Taylor gonna have to come out with another album that
For the last one?
like coincides with this fifth book?
It's like debut.
It's a country book.
Reputation was this one then? I thought this one was Tortured Poets, but I could be mixing them up.
Oh, I couldn't remember. But I know Tortured. She did say she will not release the songs that the next book because she knows we'll be upset with her.
She said she's already working on the playlist.
Yes, yeah. She said she's not going to release the songs because she's like, you guys will hate me.
We'll have bad blood.
All right. Violet's second signet. We did not get this right. We said either a changing signet that could morph into what she needed at the time or an amplifier. I did not see the Dreamwalker coming. It was obvious apparently to some, not to me.
I don't really understand how it's a magical dragon given power.
Yeah.
And
not why the Irid dragons were like, and you gave her the biggest power of all. I'm like, how? I don't understand how this is going to aid her.
Fast, or did she only use it on Xaden?
No, when all of the squad was sleeping in Xaden's old room, she went into one of the flyers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the house burning and the
nearby them?
I think so.
Great question. We don't know. But I think as it grows, my guess is that's how she's going to communicate with Xaden next book.
True. Yeah.
They already have that like mind thing,
but
now that the bond is gone, they don't have it anymore.
That's right.
So I think that's how she's going to. My guess is like as she develops it, because she hasn't used it intentionally so far.
Mm-hmm. And like people can't have their
Shields up when they're sleeping.
Thank you. They can't have their shields up because they're asleep. So I feel like she's going to somehow be able to do this while she's awake and go into people's dreams.
I guess this is me live processing that Violet and Xaden's bond was actually because their dragons were bonded.
Yeah.
Not because they were so bonded.
I did see a theory that they're actually like mates themselves, so there's still some bond there.
That's what I thought. I think that's what I thought it was the whole time, that we were looking at it too superficially because of the dragons.
When they were on the islands, I can't remember. Can she still communicate with Xaden, or could she only
she could only communicate with
Taryn
and Andarna.
And Darna. Okay.
Which we don't know why, but is that maybe because either she was part, like she still has powers because, there's a theory that she is a god, or because of Andarna, she still has powers on the Isles.
Yeah.
It's unclear.
Because only the Irids had powers and could do that, their
Mhm.
full mind-to-mind thing.
And Taryn, because he's hanging out with them too.
Yeah.
I think somehow, because especially where they noted that Andarna bonded Violet second, I think that somehow
Because she can
amplifies
work
onto her
magic.
team.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Andarna left,
Then.
Violet could still talk to her, like Taryn, right? Like,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
no,
Mhm.
Violet was gone. Not Violet was gone. Andarna was gone.
I'm curious, had they gone back to the Isles where there wasn't Taryn's source of magic, would they have still been able to? My guess is that it was the Andarna bonus that made that work.
Well,
Agreed.
and then remember when Andarna left, she could still dream walk.
Yeah.
That's what I.
And she got that power from Andarna.
Yeah.
It's a lame power.
Did Andarna gift it, or did Andarna not fully sever? I don't know.
Yeah. She severed the bond so that they couldn't speak and communicate, and it wasn't painful to be away from each other, but she still left her with her signet. I don't know.
It was painful to be away from each other. That was the worst part of the book.
Yeah. But she didn't
Violet,
die.
I was like, I can't with this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're sad.
That was Violet in book 1 and 2, the weakling Violet. I need strong Violet now.
Yeah, I thought we had moved past it. She's like, my dragon. And everyone's like, sorry.
Showing up for that during that part was the best.
It'll be interesting to see her book 3 because she's gonna be real alone.
Or book 4.
Or book 4, yeah.
Did anyone see the ending coming?
Yeah, I knew that. I knew
that they would be married.
Oh, I didn't see the married part. I knew he would be.
I knew he would go full Venom.
Venom, yeah.
I saw the full
through
Venom.
the book and
Didn't think he'd be married this book, and I didn't see it coming off page.
yeah.
I didn't want to see it coming. It made sense.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to win easily.
That's not going to happen. That's not how Rebecca does
You have 2 books, and book 3 is
I know,
pages.
but okay, let's cure the
Before they go on a honeymoon.
Xaden, and now let's go figure out something else. I don't know.
No, I get that.
I think it just frustrated me that he turned Venom in general. So I
the
was like,
sliver of love.
yeah,
I think is going to be
the
a
soul
savior.
in the ring.
Yes. We'll see. I feel like next book she's going to cure Xaden, and then book 5 they're going to defeat the Venom, and then hopefully everyone.
I wonder if Xaden will ever actually be cured, or if he'll always. I don't know.
Well, do you remember that one epigraph was control is the only way? But there are so many theories going out that love is going to be the cure, and something with the Temple of Loyola. I don't know how to say that one.
Did you ever? Did you see there was a theory that because Andarna was actually gone for a long time, but because she could control the time,
she's actually been gone for years.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that she really learned the ways of the Irids and was gone for a long time, but then she can manipulate time and came back 2
You can
weeks
just
later.
get Irid Cliff Notes and come back.
Bingo. She got the.
She was gifted. She was on a fast track.
You got the full degree. I love it.
Yeah.
Great theory. That one
It's in an accelerated program.
She was AP.
I was just gonna say AP Irids. Love it.
Oh, I love it. So did anyone see Dane having a full redemption arc by book 3? I did not.
No, but I'm not mad at it. Like,
No, something's
on the
gonna
hot
happen with
take
Sloan
guys.
and him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He was pretty redeemed for me by the end of Iron Flame, at least like back to a moderate.
Yeah.
We didn't actively
I
hate
wasn't
him.
pissed when he showed up anymore. But
What
I
do you
didn't expect for to like love him again.
Yeah. What do you think of Sloane's comment of why do you have so much power to Dane? Like, where's that coming from? I need to know.
What are the need to know questions?
All of them.
Do you think we will get answers to all of our questions? Or do you think in like the full psychoanalyze, because we're certain we can predict how this ends from the very beginning, that we're asking questions that she's like, wait, people are wondering that? Like I saw a video today that someone was like, are Violet's parents even the real parents? And she's like, wait, why would you ask that? Of course. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like to a certain extent, like, is Dane extra super powerful strong? Or is he just like the son
Dane.
of someone who's also very powerful and strong? And like, so that came down like his upbringing, genetic, like all of those things. Like,
There was one theory that Dane's dad is Venom, so then Dane is part Venom.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
think
believe that
we're
one.
thinking too much into
Yeah.
this Dane thing. I do think Brennan, there's something up
There's
with
something
There's
sketchy.
something up with Brennan. If anybody's sketchy, it's Brennan.
I still am convinced that Brennan is like a wyvern and Naolin like created him with.
Did you hear the theory that Naolin is Venom and that's why she can always see?
Oh,
That's-
because there's a link with Terrence still.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she's always a step ahead of them. That's why they're always a step ahead of all of them because she has that link.
Yeah.
But I think if Taryn has bonded Violet, he had to have severed the bond with Naolin. I agree. I think he's Venom 100%.
Yeah. It has to be.
I think
And he's like they're
sibling betrayal. I really don't see it being Mira.
No, I don't think it's Mira. I think it's going to be
Mira
Brennan.
almost just died.
Brennan died and then came back to life.
Dad's journal said only trust Mira, which we don't know if that was written when he thought Brennan was dead or what, but
Suspect.
I think Brennan's got to be the sibling betrayal. And
My
I think
students would say sus.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
I think he means well and he wants to be good, but there is that underlying evil in him that he has no control over somehow. Maybe. I don't know.
No, yeah, I know. I think I think he has ulterior motives.
Got it.
I think there's something more complex to the 6 years we missed with him.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
He's not even fully aware of. Like I keep seeing things to the other dragons that were in Orisha that somehow no one knows about.
Yeah, true.
It's their deal.
So many questions, so long to wait for the answers.
I know. How rude. She's got this all mapped out.
I just want to go sneak into her house. Rebecca, if you're hearing this, I really won't do it, but I want to.
But yeah, it does feel very much like, are we asking questions that are going to get answered? Because I feel like you mentioned Taylor Swift theories. There are questions that I have from eras ago that were probably totally irrelevant.
Are we even asking the right questions?
We're all clowning.
Exactly.
Well, I'm like, fine, if you want to take a break, just do half books.
Like we'll take 7 books, it's fine.
Yeah, 3.5.
Take as many. Just give me a little more, please.
So Amity's favorite like theory is Violet is pregnant.
It is not my favorite though. It's my favorite.
The pregnancy trope.
Oh my
Which
god, you guys like
Rebecca
Amity
has
finished.
since.
I'm so glad.
Steph was like, she's pregnant. I'm like, no, I will stop reading.
Okay, you know how when you're reading some of these books and you're like, oh, pregnancy trope's coming.
I
I
feel
never
so.
think it. It gets me by surprise every time because it makes me.
Really?
Even when it's on like page 2.
Yeah, then I'm surprised I even
Oh.
picked up the book.
I can give you the equation. It usually starts off with the person feeling a little nauseous. They're like, why am I feeling nauseous? That's how it always
Yes,
starts.
like then when they're like, oh, I just don't feel good. My boobs are sore. I'm like,
Yeah.
now.
Although Violet has been
Ever not
nauseous
know
And
why they're
dizzy.
nauseous.
and dizzy in previous books because of her Ehlers-Danlos and Potts, like first getting off the parapet, Dane shoves her head into her knees so she doesn't throw
Right.
up.
But the other thing too is they always like look at children. Like that's how you know a pregnancy trope is coming, is because they'll look at children and be like, "Oh man, one day I want that," and then you're like, "Oh, 2 chapters later, I'm pregnant."
So
Yeah,
you
but
think
these
this is
little
where
characters
children
never
on the
were.
island were the sign of death?
Well, lucky for Amity, Rebecca has officially said not happening. No pregnancy trope.
I don't know. She put in so much foreshadowing for that.
About all the air, like not having an
not
heir.
having an heir. They like usually in a book when they ask, "Do you want children?" That means children are coming down the road.
Yeah. Maybe it's book 5.
Maybe it's book 5.
Who knows?
I see it
The
being
air
like an end
stuff
of book
just
five.
to have to do with like the sibling brother thing versus
Well, I think I think that has to go with why they got married. It was so that she would be in charge of his place, whatever the name of it. I can't think of the name.
Arisha.
Arisha, yeah.
Well, Duchess of Tyrrendor.
There we
All
go.
right, there we go.
True.
That's why I
forgot
think
it
they
was
got
all
married.
of Tyrrendor now. She gets her own army.
But I do think eventually we're gonna get an heir, but I think that's gonna be part of like the happy ending.
Damn right.
That's what I hope. A lot of people thought that was Zodiac Academy, and I was like, no. And then, in the last 20% of the last book is, epilogue after epilogue after epilogue, and
Pregnancy after
that's a great
pregnancy.
place. Put all the pregnancy there. Put all the babies.
Yeah.
Oh, what other theories have we not talked about?
So I did predict lightly that this would not be as intense a cliffhanger, and I feel like I was accurate.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know everybody's alive and they're okay. They got some new jewelry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing
details with that.
when I finished book 2, I was like, okay, like I can wait for book 3. This one I finished and I was like,
What the fuck did I?
I know.
What
I was like,
happened?
I need to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel the opposite.
Yeah,
Really?
same.
I feel more at the end of book 3, like, okay, I know kind of what we're gonna be doing next book.
But everything's in a good stopping point. We've got a solid mission forward.
Oh, see, I'm like,
I felt that after book 2. I'm with Steph.
No, I was like, well, what do we do now?
No, after this one, I was like, okay, give me the next one. Like, let me see what happens next.
Where do you think Xaden went?
Yeah, exactly.
Is he gonna be a mole in the Venom army? Did he go to the Isles?
Is it all of his soul? Is it part of his soul?
So many questions.
What is Violet gonna do? Like, who does she rely on? She's gonna have to rely on herself. It's gonna be a big
Yeah, she's Duchess.
She's been relying on this whole time.
True, but I feel like she's always had Xaden there.
Yeah.
Just to like talk to, or
I don't know. He wasn't so great at communicating the first 2 book stuff.
that is true. But he always like looked out for her in his own
He
subtle
will still
ways.
be doing that.
Okay, so I mean, he was teaching her how to like find his shadows. He couldn't have been doing that unless it's important.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like as much as Violet is a strong heroine, Xaden's really controlling.
Yeah. It is a toxic relationship. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yes. Like I like him a lot. And also he's very controlling.
I just had this idea. So now that he's Venom and he has full Venom and he has all these powers, do you think he controls shadows when he's not there? Like shadows far away from him?
I could see that. I mean, that's kind of what the
I might be way off in left field here, but it's possible.
Do you think we'll get like a weird ghost shadow spice scene?
No. I think we'll get like
I hope we do
a
now.
weird dream spice scene.
That's better than a weird shadow spice scene.
Have you seen the TikTok where it was like trying to recreate the chair scene?
Yes.
Like, did we talk about Xaden's mom yet? And how absolutely
That was so
terrible.
I know, that was so random too. I was like, wait, what?
I mean, we knew she was coming.
How did we know that?
I mean, okay, there were
Mentioned
multiple
too
theories.
much. and then not enough.
Yeah, there were theories that she was Venom, or she was in with King Tari, or she was in the Isles, and it turned out to be the Isles. I didn't expect her to be that terrible.
I also wonder with like these theories that we come up with those like the extreme version and then it's like the lighter version.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like his mom is in the Isles married with kids.
I feel like all of the theories that I thought going into this book completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we need to like simplify it a little bit.
That's no fun.
Then you go in good, like, who's Rhydock?
We need to get you like a family tree going into the next book, Amity.
That would have been really helpful.
I wish she did include like a tree or something or people person like who is who at the beginning of this book.
Yeah.
You need to
That
play
was-
like Guess Who.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, do you include Broccoli the cat?
Oh,
Obviously.
where's Broccoli? Also, Mira and what's his name? That's happening.
Dragon, and didn't she have like the first few pages of our squad like character Dragon and Signet if we knew it?
She did.
In the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because I'm on the Kindle. I might
Yeah, I
have.
didn't even look. It just starts me at words and I go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, my Kindle started me on the
No, yeah.
On the cover.
and it's tiny, so you have to
To zoom in.
Tiny.
Guys, I lost my Kindle on the airplane.
It's officially gone. Oh no.
It's been like a business day now, and I just can't imagine it coming back. Like, it was
No.
Friday. I filled out the paper Friday night, like the lost and found thing.
That is heartbreaking.
No, I'm really bummed.
Did you order a new one?
I think
Okay.
has ordered me the replacement for Valentine's Day.
On the plus side, maybe somebody's reading the third is reading Onyx Storm
On her Kindle?
on your Kindle right now.
Oh,
You just made something
guys,
life.
I did God's work the other day. Went to the Barnes and Noble that just opened in town, and I'm walking, like about to walk out, and I walk past like the Fourth Wing section to see what merchandise is there that I want, but don't need. And this woman is reading the back of Fourth Wing, and I just kind of standing there, and then I look at her, and she sees me watching her, and I convinced her to buy this book.
Yay!
Lauren's getting her commissions check.
Damn right. My whole like 2 cents worth.
That's a new one on 41.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
I saw some pictures of it. It looks less cozy.
It is less cozy, I will say.
I had a student stay home for a yes day with her dad, and one of her things that she wanted to do was go to Barnes and
Oh my
Noble
gosh, I
and
love
get
that
books.
child.
Aww.
She should never change.
Yeah. So. Okay, so are we re-meeting in 2027 to like rewatch this episode and then or re-listen to this episode and
think
then
in 2027. Sure. I think we need to I kind of liked the idea of book a cruise. I was gonna say a hotel room.
Or we book a trip that coincides with one of the tour stops.
where she goes?
And we see Rebecca.
Do we have time to read it beforehand to ask her important questions?
Well, so I mean, she just had the last stop of her tour last night.
So we will pick the right one so that we do.
Yes.
Mhm.
And we take the day off work the day after it comes out, like same people.
Instead of taking the Super Bowl the day after, we take it based off books.
I'm on Empyrean leave. It's very important.
Yeah. Oh, we should end on this. What do you think the next book title will be?
Okay, so we had Fourth Wing,
Iron Flame,
Onyx Storm, which when I figured out what Onyx Storm meant, I was like, oh my God.
She
That
held
was-
it into the end.
Oh, okay. I don't even know if I
Wait,
can
so
do that.
explain what you think the meaning of Onyx Storm is.
So Onyx Storm is when he turns completely venom and the shadows go
everywhere and goes
and
crazy.
kills all bad. That is the storm.
Okay, I wouldn't have.
Yes.
What did it call it? The Onyx Storm?
She referenced it to a
And
storm.
yeah, because onyx is a color.
Oh, okay, because
like a
I
dark
kept thinking
gray.
the storm
Black.
that
Dark gray,
was
yeah.
Right.
like that storm, that venom that makes storms.
Yeah.
No, I think
No,
it's
yeah.
Jaden's shadows.
It's Jaden's,
in that
yeah.
one
And then
thing.
his eye color is onyx.
True.
Yes.
with the gold flecks that then turn to not
And the whole
gold.
book, I'm like, is it just because he's conflicted and she's watching his eyes all the time? Like,
But then they turn to amber and the red doesn't go away.
Okay, so I think also her next one is going to have something to do with. Okay, so the venom turned red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think it's going to have to do with the color red.
Ooh. Oh, but hold on. So the books, when you like put them,
They turn red.
well, it's turning white.
Is it turning white?
oh, but
Or
have
if
you
it just
looked at
turned
the
black?
quality of the white? So I think it's going to be something smoke because that
Ooh.
what it's fading to on the Onyx Storm cover is going to that smoke. So maybe like a scarlet smoke.
Ooh,
And
okay.
we figure out how Andarna burns the venom.
It was red already. And look, it's turning white, like silvery. Oh, maybe it's something silver with her hair.
Oh, yes.
See,
Silver.
silver.
Okay. I could see silver.
Ooh, maybe it's something silver. I'm gonna go with that.
I feel like we're naming Mahomes' next kid.
I'm going to look up synonyms for silver.
Or maybe it's just silver. Who the hell knows?
No, it's going to be 2 words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silver something.
Silver something.
savior.
I'm sticking smoke because it's a smoky quality that it's fading to.
True. You got me there.
I can see
Also,
silver.
I saw this. No, never mind.
Onyx
I don't
Storm,
know.
Iron Flame.
Mhm.
Fourth wing. Yeah, it's the word
Steph, you
connected.
recognize this?
Oh, yes. No, it's going to be silver something.
I think silver is going to be part of the name. I'm going. But look, this does look smoky. I see where Kelda's coming
think
from.
Yeah.
A little smoky smoke.
Like silver haze.
So, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm.
I can see a haze because that's like after the storm.
A lavender haze.
I just was going to say
It'll be
that.
silver haze.
I can see this turning purple at the end. Like it turns silver, then purple.
Like Rebecca's hair right now.
Yes.
Oh, is this foreshadowing? Are these Easter egg clues with your hair?
There it is. Easter eggs. I couldn't think of the word.
There could be something to that. The sages wear purple robes.
Ooh.
The real sages or the fake venom sages? Are all of the sages venom?
I thought they were.
I think they're
Yeah.
all there. Yeah,
I'm not sages. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the
Tribes?
Yeah.
They wear like tan,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
cream colored. Ooh, that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start silver with the next cover, and we think it's going purple, like lavendery, sage.
Yeah, so maybe
Okay.
Sage is green.
Shit, you're right. I know my colors,
The sages left.
but their robes are purple, right? Their
That's
robes-
confusing.
Yeah, thank you. It's fine. I know colors.
Well, I guess Violet's name is purple too.
Oh, true.
Oh.
Oh boy, you put. Do you think she named this character with intention? Of course she did.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure, but Violet, you're turning violet.
Do we want to put a prediction on when this book will come out?
Not soon enough. That's my prediction.
I'm gonna go.
She likes those like November, December, January dates.
So pick a month and a year. I'm gonna go September 2026. Wishful thinking.
I was gonna go October 26th, so
Okay.
I was gonna say November 26th.
Okay, so Amity
do you say
is.
December or August 26th?
We're very wishful thinking that it comes out next year. And Steph, what do you?
Okay, I'm gonna do a curveball, and I'm gonna say June 2026.
Ooh, I hope you're right.
Oh.
I
She
think
said-
she's gonna do a summer one.
She said she's taking the whole like summer off to spend with her kids.
Yes,
But
but if you write it during the year, then it can be released during the summer.
True.
And I think with all the hype of this book and the movie coming out, I know she says she likes to write a contemporary in between, but I don't think she will. I don't know. I could be wishful thinking.
I think she can write a contemporary much faster than
Then one of
than
these.
this.
Yeah.
Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. This is already mapped out.
I don't know. I will
The
say, I feel like
editor is like, absolutely not. We have a deadline.
Right?
this book had more thought and detail compared to Iron Flame.
I have to reread
I
Iron
feel like she had more time to put in these details into Onyx Storm.
the Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
In this one.
What
And-
I hope they're not leading us to is, you know how in Harry Potter, in Zodiac Academy, you get to like the last book or the second to last book, and all of a sudden, the key to defeating the evil thing is this entirely new facet of the story we've never heard about before. Like in Harry Potter, you got to book 6, tail end, and it's like, oh, what's a Horcrux? Oh, like that was, in Zodiac Academy, there's something similar with like guildstones and like what? I did not need an additional, like we were so close. Like now there's a whole nother component, and we still have 2 books. So like, and these are thick books with a lot of details. So like there's still time, but I don't want there to be.
I think she'll do something that like I think she's planned it out. I think she knows exactly how she's gonna end it, and then it's gonna have something to do with her dragons. It's gonna have something to do with Violet. I don't think she's like her. It has something to do with her silver hair.
There's something there with the gods.
Yeah, there's something there with the gods. Her dad.
I saw
Her dad's books.
Yeah, that like the 6 first riders were like the 6 gods, but there's actually 7 because there's a 7th dragon breed, and so now that's how they're gonna defeat the venom. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we got like this much of the Irids this book. I think next book we're gonna get
Yeah.
Irids, and then it's gonna be that missing piece is gonna be like the gods and temple magic.
Right. And there's like the wards and all of those, like we're still missing a lot. I feel like at some point we're gonna have to go on a scavenger hunt to gather the last of the whatever
Quest Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she seems to put things like that like on a time crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were raising the word stone in the last 10 pages.
Yeah.
Right.
She is the last like 15-20% of a book. That is when the shit happens.
Yep.
And I've not read enough of her contemporary stuff to know she's not very epilogue-y.
No, I don't think she's gonna kind of end it,
She's
and
really
then
not.
I feel like if any epilogue, it's gonna be like the Amazon series.
I think I've read like 4 of her contemporary. There's not much to the epilogue besides
But they're
like we're
not-
happy ever
They're
after.
not
Yeah.
series. Like if you've dedicated this much time to these people, like I need to know their grandkids are okay.
But like if you think about like Hunger Games, they're not doing, or is it Harry Potter? They're doing like way later.
Oh, they are.
Is Harry Potter the one, the
J.K.
HBO
Rowling
series?
wrote like the ending of Harry Potter, the tail end is like their kids being
Yes.
old enough to go off to Hogwarts. And then she wrote that other like cursed child is about their kids. Like that's what I want. I want to know that their kids are okay.
Yeah.
I want to know all of that. And you knew that. Now, granted, Rowling did it in a way that like the authors of Zodiac Academy, like the last 20% of the last book is like 6 months later, 8 months after that, 2 years after that. Like I want that level of detail, but I also at its minimum, I want the Harry Potter,
Years later.
yes.
Yeah.
Show me 15 years in the future that everything's pretty much okay.
Yeah.
Like that you defeated evil and it worked for a little bit. You had kids, you got to calm down.
Guys, we could all be in the nursing home reading this. Like, guys, we're like, remember.
As long as we're together.
I love it.
Oh man.
Any other theories, ladies?
I think that's it.
I just want it to end before the kids who are being born named Zayden and Violet and Rydick and Dane and Jasenia are all old enough to read it.
Yeah.
Can you
I
imagine?
think we had a labor and delivery nurse, and
then he turns out to be evil.
Yeah.
There's just Like 5 years from now, it's like, oh man, Jack Barlow this whole time. Good guy.
So, do we think the TV series or the next book's going to come out first?
I think TV series might be coming out like next year.
Yeah, they have the.
I think that about the book too.
I
Yeah.
think that's book first because she said they don't even have a casting director yet.
Oh,
I know they have. She's read the script.
Yeah.
okay.
I think we're still very, very early on the series.
So maybe book first. So, book next year, TV series after that.
Yeah.
Book over summer, TV show in the winter.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make my heart so happy. So much, Fourth Wing.
2 trips.
Oh, that would hold me over until the 5th book.
Yeah. Exactly.
A summer trip is really better for mine and Steph's schedules anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, well, go ahead and wrap us up. Thanks for joining us for this quick episode of a totally different style, but sharing our thoughts and reactions on a Kindle adjacent will eventually be KU probably book. As always, thanks for listening, and we're gonna wrap it up here, even though it's awkward ending because it's an awkward different style of episode. Bye.